anyway, there is respect, whether it's a feeling of admiration, whether you're being treated, valued with dignity, whatever, whether it's intrinsic or earned. Let's get a list of things that will garner more respect from other people.
So let's start with first item on the list.
Well, actually, I want to go before that and insert one here. I want to interject with, I can't remember what it was. Go ahead.
I have no idea.
No,
so we'll go to the list then, which
Senior's
was
moment.
honor your first commitments. Now, and speaking of your father, you learned that from him, didn't you?
Yes, but we're not. I've got the one now, so it's not.
Oh, so we'll have to come back to that.
Yeah, we will. We'll edit this out. Now, in order to get respect, giving respect is a great way to get it.
I agree.
So I'm going to put that first on the list. I think it's key for human beings. When we are respected, we have a feeling of self-worth of some kind of personal value.
When people respect us,
Right,
when we're
that's right.
respected,
Yes.
we feel more validated. Right.
Yes. Then I believe if we give respect to other people by treating them with dignity and, kindness and respect and so on, I think that they are probably inclined to give it back to us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's basically Cialdini's principle of commitment and consistency,
But unless the
and also
person-
reciprocity. That if you,
but it's vague in the reciprocity front, even more vague than giving someone a can of Coke or something. But I'm thinking, if the person is a rampant narcissist, giving them respect and that will only be seen as narcissistic supply, and they probably won't give anything back. They'll be, well, it reminds me of this other thing I did, and yeah, I'm glad you respect me. Let me tell you more about myself.
Yeah.
I saw a guy on Jeopardy a couple months ago, and the guy was such a dick, Chris. Everything he did, it was all freaking narcissism beyond anything I've ever seen. I didn't respect him at all. I got to the point, I like Jeopardy.
Okay.
But I didn't want to watch this guy. And when he got a question right, he'd go, I just say, you think you're a gunfighter and you're a dick.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say the dick chant, which sort of goes, dick.
Yeah.
A little louder, dick. And then really full on, dick.
Yeah.
Anyway, he couldn't hear me. So
all right.
First one on the list is honor your first commitments. What do you make of that?
Well, it's one of these things you're going to earn respect over time by doing what you say you're going to do. Do you remember years ago, we used to say to people, we're going to publish the Brain Software podcast every 2 weeks. And then for a while, we would miss our schedule. Well, no, not for 4 years, but for a while, it would be maybe every closer to 3 weeks. We weren't doing what we said we'd do.
I know. And we
so
lost respect.
Do you think that in that time, people would trust us when we said, we're going to put out a podcast in 2 more weeks? Probably not.
They probably hated us.
Well, and this is a very minor thing overall in the grand scheme of our lives. But if you honor your commitment, if you actually do what you say you're going to do, if you say you're going to show up to help somebody, if you say that you're going to review somebody's paper that they've got to submit for an assignment, I'm going to help you proofread that for you, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you do that and you're consistently doing the things you say you're going to do, people are going to learn to trust you and respect you for honoring your commitments.
So are you saying that we lost everyone's trust completely?
Absolutely. We blew it. Okay. I just shut her down. Shut her down.
Scared thinking of starting another dick chant?
Yeah.
Okay. And feel free to use that in your own life. Go up in volume. The third one should be pretty well shouted. What about be dependable? Now, the reason I say honor your first commitments, my father taught me that, as you said, if we say we're going to do something and then this really hot person comes along and says, do you want to go out tonight? You can't go, hey, I'll just dump idiot boy here. Yeah, I don't want to see him anymore.
Yeah,
of course.
honor your first commitment. In other words, do what you say you're going to do.
Yes.
But also in part of that, don't pick the better thing that just came along.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's tempting. It's human nature.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to raise this in the razory a bit here. Because it's human nature that we want to fill our time with stuff that we enjoy. I mean, right now, I wouldn't want to be here at all if I could avoid it. I mean,
if somebody offered to teleport me to a beach
my wife said,
Florida
why don't you sleep
instead?
in today?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I promised to come into a Brain Software podcast, but I'm going to sleep in instead.
That's just way more
first
exciting.
commitment, and we love doing these. So the next one is be dependable. Do what you say you'll do, even if it's inconvenient. This is like unto the other one.
That's pretty much what we just said. So we'll move along.
All right, be aware.
Because we respect your time, listeners.
I respect you saying that. Now, we need to be aware. This is one of yours.
Be aware of emotional
I want you to expound
involvement.
on this. Be aware of emotional involvement.
Yeah.
Calm down, Chris.
Thank you.
I'm a comic genius. I'm just here joking in the jokery.
You'll get the joke in a moment, everyone else. How often have people who want respect gotten so emotionally engaged in the discussion that they come across as either needy or whiny or just overall mad. I'm really mad at you for whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I just realized that Ross is going to be mad at me because I'm looking at myself in the monitor.
I'm not.
Right now.
I'm looking right into the camera.
He's going to text me and say, "Did you have a stroke?"
Yeah.
Right?
Looking right into the monitor.
So
the camera.
When you're making a point or when you're asking for something or when you're making a suggestion, you're hoping people will listen. Not enough people are listening to you.
Yeah.
And you start getting angry and really worked up emotionally about it.
Yeah.
Do you think you're taking in more respect for people or casting all respect into the wind?
I think when we lose control of our emotions, we almost always lose respect as well.
We look like losers.
Yeah.
When we do that.
To me, it's the difference. It's taken me years to learn this. Well, a long weekend anyway. The difference between being aggressive and being assertive.
That's
and
a really
I used to be
point.
walked on when I was a kid, so small and super smart and all this, and people resented me for it. Not surprising. But even though I was somewhat of a prodigy, sorry, I've just switched into narcissism mode here.
That's hilarious.
No, but in all seriousness, when I used to be aggressive after I had gone from being wimpy to being aggressive. And now I've hit in between somewhere. I can be assertive. I can say what I want and not back down. But I'm not going to ramp up the emotions and start yelling at someone.
If you think, if you think about it this way, if your behavior or my behavior, your behavior, anyone's behavior is intended to evoke an emotion in another person to get a performance or an action out of them.
Okay, so a lot of big words
So if
here.
I am aggressive, and I am looking to say scare someone in that case, that they better do what I say or they'll be physically hurt.
Yeah.
Or
intimidation
in some way. I mean, it could be, you could be aggressive in threatening that your children won't be able to go to that party they wanted to go to. Well, not that they can nowadays anyway, but there's various ways of being aggressive, right?
Yeah.
But the physical one is the most obvious to think of. So if I behave in a certain way that causes other people to have an emotion of fear or behave in a certain way. So if we get overly involved in being emotional such that we're evoking an emotion in the other people that they think
they find unpleasant.
That guy's like unhinged.
Yeah. And then we will wind up being recluses because
no one's going to want to hang out with us.
We just got a word in there.
Yeah, there we go.
Fantastic.
Amazing how that works.
That whole thing about the aggression taking different forms. I remember when I was a telephone operator, which was, I was making $2 an hour, but the good thing was there was only one other guy in the office. He came in later after me, and we worked with 150 women, many of whom were in their early 20s and quite beautiful.
So I'm sure you loved that.
It was a wonderful job. But a guy phoned in one night, an older guy, businessman, and I was working the switchboard, and he wanted a number of some company. And he wanted the after hours number, and they didn't have one.
Sir, I need the phone number for the Shiz Jig Corporation.
Yeah. I said, if they don't have an after hours number, sir.
Right.
Here's what he said to me. Don't make me mad. You don't want to make me mad. You don't want to make, don't freaking tell me
you
what
don't want to make.
You don't know what I want.
Well,
Unless you ask me, baby, I do want to make you mad.
Well,
but
sir, you're welcome to get as
aggressive.
mad as you want. That's still not going to change the fact that
Let me tell you how much I respected him after that, Chris.
Yeah. Zero.
That much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like the pause, the freezing?
Yes.
Like Jack the Freezer?
Mike's making a zero sign for those listening only.
That's right. So, okay. So we're saying being aware of emotional involvement, learn to go to second and third positions when required. Now, this is a key thing. Remember in NLP terms, we're actually bringing some content now. In NLP terms, we have 4 perceptual positions that we work with. Chris and I work with. Some work with 3, and I used to work with 3, but I see the value of the 4th one now. The first one is I. It's self. It's ego.
It's about me.
It's about me. It's all about me. And narcissists spend a lot of time, if not all of their time, in first position. Second position is you.
You.
So this is empathy
this is
now.
About
it's about you. This is all about you. So at this point,
that is my favorite.
Yeah, losing the picture. It's like, it's all about you. Anyway, at this point, when we can go into second position, that is empathy. We are feeling the other person's emotions.
Yes.
Not sympathy.
We can
Sympathy
relate
is
to their
relating
emotions.
to it. No, but empathy is feeling them.
Feelings.
So, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. My feeling emotions.
And when someone is appealing to empathy, they'll say, can you imagine how I feel? When we go to empathy, we go, yeah, I can imagine that.
Can you imagine how
it's a useful
that person felt in that scenario? We can put ourselves in their shoes and imagine how they felt.
Right. Now, third position is completely dissociated.
Yeah.
And that is them. It's I'm on the outside dissociating, looking at you and I sitting here.
Yes.
Not astral projecting. And by doing this, what's happening is I'm leaving the emotions out of the equation and I'm being impartial. Now, the ability to go into second to feel the other person's emotions so you can empathize with them, and the ability to dissociate are extremely powerful, and they will earn you respect, because if someone is criticizing you, you can then hear it from their perspective, or you can dissociate it and it just becomes data, nothing but interesting information.
And if you get your back up against the wall, if you're criticizing, if somebody's criticizing you, or if someone's criticizing
especially that
me,
wall.
Especially fake walls. If someone's criticizing you and you appear to get very defensive, what does that do for your ability to command respect? Right?
You didn't have to make the
I know I didn't have COVID.
Exusion sound. It's horrible.
It's not really an exusion sound.
It is.
Although I suppose
you're going red. It's exuding in the exudery. If you're going to do it, at least make it funny. Like, don't do the horrible sound you did. Disgusting.
I think that's the first time
this is a bad. No, I've done the podcast and I've done the, which is way funnier. Okay, so I used to do that. I'd go to a washroom at someone's house every time I'd shut the door.
This podcast is not good for my forehead lines.
I just looked at the monitor for a long time then. I know. I admit it, though, so it's okay. So let's move on here, buddy. Major, we said radiate congruence in your body and your voice.
Yeah. I want to just make sure that we're really clear that emotional involvement will be reduced if you move to those second and third positions. That'll help, right?
Yes.
So now, while you're doing that, radiate confidence. So if somebody's asking you or suggesting, let's say, some sort of criticism, and you just take second position, I can appreciate how that person would feel this way, and how third position, how others would see me differently if I do this and this differently.
Yeah.
And
it becomes powerful.
And now by expressing that congruently, maybe through questions, or can you tell me more about that? And or just a statement of appreciation. I appreciate the perspective of that criticism. I hadn't thought about that.
All right, that's good. That's good, man. Yeah.
So by being congruent, what else did you want to say about being congruent?
No, like making sure that you're aligning your state. So you're not somewhere else as they're talking. You're present with them. Your state, your body language, your internal dialogue are all saying one thing. You are present with that person, and that commands respect. I mean, notice how right now with me talking to you like this just scares the crap out of you, because I'm just being so assertive.
You're being so present.
My hand is just cataleptic.
Do we have body language stuff on here at all?
Yes, we do.
Because I put it
there.
There is an absolute sense of using your hands.
Well, let's wait till we get there.
Right. All right. We'll get there. Thank you.
Okay.
No, thank you. No,
now,
you can thank me.
You thank me, just as I am thanking me. Now, major in solutions, not complaints. Man, I drink some coffee.
I'm going to repeat that because I interrupted you while you were saying it. Major in solutions, not in complaints.
Scary thing. That's
good. Not in complaints. Actually, okay. So while you're drinking your perfectly ordinary coffee, let's talk about that. So does everyone know someone that is just a constant complainer?
Yes,
chronic complainer.
Thank you. You're admitting it finally. You about me. Oh, you're not in Slack today. Oh, you didn't check. I left you this message from a month ago. Yeah, it didn't interest me. I didn't freaking read it. I'm almost 68 years old. I'm past the point where I have to stand in the freaking corner, Chris. You know? Oh, that's what the whiteboard's for over here. I will never do that again. I am bad. I must be punished. You're a naughty boy.
Stop.
Yes, people like you complain constantly about me. Yes, you. You've admitted it. Okay, next.
Well, hi, welcome to the Chris Thompson therapy session.
It's not going to help you, buddy. Scary thing, I meant it was about you.
Where were we? I've just lost my train of thought.
Completely present, Chris. You were saying
majoring in solutions, not complaints.
Yes. Stop complaining.
Do we all know somebody that is a chronic complainer? And if so, look at your elbow. It's all frame again.
Well, my finger's pointing at you, though.
That's true.
I had to check the monitor and make sure it was working.
Who do you know, without naming names or anything, that maybe from your past, who was in your life, that isn't anymore, that's a safer question, that was a chronic complainer, always complaining?
Well, I can think of one in my life right now. It's not you. It's not you.
Okay. You're not going to say who it is, obviously. That's fine. All right. But we all know that someone. And what happens when someone is chronically pointing out what's wrong rather than offering solutions?
Well, you don't hang out with them.
Right. I mean, if Elon Musk, if all he did was point out the pollution from gas engines and
you're furrowing your brow,
whatever else is wrong with the world, and how there are no reusable rockets and why can't we get to Mars, but didn't actually frickin' do anything about it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have a whole lot of respect.
No.
But here he is building rockets that land themselves, making the most amazing electric cars on the planet, and solving actual real world engineering
I heard those
problems.
rockets didn't even land. It was just CGI.
It's CGI. It's Photoshop, guys.
Yeah, my question is, Chris, how much do you admire him for doing that?
Oh, tremendously.
So you have respect for Elon Musk.
I have respect for
his intelligence, his creativity.
His intelligence, but you know what? I don't want to be like him. I don't want to spend
he does
80 to 100 hours a week.
I remember when you went through your Bill Gates phase before you had your LASIK done, and you used to wear glasses, and you respected Gates so much. You tried to look like him. You had the big freaking plastic glasses.
That's horrible.
Just horrible.
Never ever refer to me as respecting Bill Gates in that way. Ever
in
again.
that way. No, there's anything wrong with that. Now listen, you respect Musk, Elon Musk, not the scent of Musk. Right.
My point is he's a problem solver, right?
And this is why you just ordered your 4th Tesla.
Oh, you bastard.
His
no,
4th
so not true.
Tesla. This is absolutely not true. Doesn't mean he's going to have 4 at once.
No,
he'll be getting rid of 2 of them. You put a deposit down on it.
That was the pickup truck.
Oh, that was the third one.
I put down $150 as a deposit. Canadian.
Yeah.
$150 Canadians, 100 in the States. $150 in the event that this thing comes out and can actually fit in my garage, which I doubt. I may be a Cybertruck owner.
Now, what I find interesting is how you've just put your coffee cup on top of your MacBook.
Yes,
which
it's a coaster.
It lost a lot. Your respect is gone. Respect is gone. Okay, here. Well, it's perfect timing because the next one is never use your MacBook as a coaster in front of your friends. You look like a dick.
Here's what I want to ask you. Serious question.
Okay, go ahead.
So I propose Elon Musk as someone who majors in solutions, not problems. You start with the problem, right? But you major in identifying the problem so you can solve it and then actually solving it.
Okay.
Who do you know that majors in solutions?
Am I supposed to say you?
You're supposed to say me. No, I'm kidding. It's not about me.
Where that was going.
Who majors in solutions in your life that you know? Not me.
Henry Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger. Oh, there
Jack
you go.
Ruby.
Yeah. Anybody?
In my life?
Anybody?
Well, you do. You actually do.
Yeah, I know. But
and so do I, actually. I aim on
I think
solutions.
You do too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Who do you look up to that majors in solutions? Otherwise, why'd you put this in the notes?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, actually. I totally agree.
Ryan majors in solutions to the point that they become new problems.
They can be, yeah. So we're talking about a friend of ours here, in case you're wondering. His name is Ryan. Awesome guy.
We won't say his last name.
And he often proposes what would be a good solution. Now, he can overanalyze it and get to the point where he's complaining about it again.
Whereupon he starts losing respect.
Right, exactly. Because if you're focused on the solution, you will command more respect.
All right,
Let's move on to the next
moving.
point,
because we got a commercial coming up soon.
Something like half an hour into this podcast.
That's fine. Now, I said, ask clarifying questions instead of assuming. You want to get people's respect? Listen to them and ask clarifying questions.
Remember, you're not a mind
Respect will
reader.
go up so fast. I like to carry a 6 of hearts. It's the perfect card for this in my pocket. And when someone says, you think this, you think, as soon as they tell you what you think, you just pull the card out. You say, wrong, Darren Brown, 6 of hearts. That's what I'm thinking. Fantastic. Now,
that's a good pattern interrupt.
Thanks, buddy. But the point is asking clarifying questions instead of getting caught up in stories, caught up in ideas, instead of presuming you know what the person means. Is powerful.
I want to add to that, that the kind of clarifying question you ask is important. If it is established with this really long pre-frame, I know that there are certain types of people, Mike, who have a variety of views on topics. And when we come across the kind of person who isn't super clear about what they want to know, we can have a tendency. Yeah, exactly. I'm doing it right. We ask simple questions congruently that are going to elicit a valuable response.
Yes, which is why every politician, as soon as he opens his mouth, he loses my respect. I'm a political atheist. I don't believe in politicians.
In politics, people will tend to ask really long-winded questions.
Ken Sweatman
very vague, non-specific. And then the answers, of course, you've given the answerer tons of threads they can pull on or dance around the real issue.
There's no clarity. There's no simplicity. We had a guy from Ontario Hydro come to our Cub Pack, the 144th Cub Pack, when I was 9 years old. He did a demo with a little model and a man, and he put these power lines down and touch it, and the guy would get shocked. And just all this stuff. And Stephen Blahu asked a question. And the question lasted about 8 minutes long. And all I remember was there was a boy in the story with white and black socks.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I'm thinking, like, this isn't helping.
Yeah,
in fact,
I got
look
a
how
question.
bad this is.
Think about it.
I'm still thinking about it.
I know,
almost 60 years later. That idiot, Stephen Blahu.
We all know situations like that, right? Where it's, I got a question. Yeah, so this one time in band camp where, Johnny was, I don't know. I can't remember. I think he was maybe changing the valves on his trumpet or,
shut up before one of us dies.
It goes
Stop.
on, and it's irrelevant. This does not command respect.
Buddy, what will command respect? One of the things you can do is take up a lot of space. Take up more space.
I know what you mean.
Yes. Yeah. And taking up space shows that you're a powerful person. If you're standing in a bar and your arms are folded and you got one foot up like this and you're sort of looking around hunched, you're sending a message of weakness and you're not going to have any respect.
And now keep in mind, of course, to command respect, taking up space, you still have to do the other stuff. If you come across as a jerk because you're, gunslinger boy on Jeopardy, or if you are constantly talking about yourself all the time and you're not asking good questions and you're asking annoying, long-winded questions while you take up a lot of space, that's actually going to amplify the hurt, won't it?
Yes.
So and I think there's an important message here that the seeds of how you're communicating with words and with intention and congruence need to be there to command respect.
Yes.
To then amplify it with your body language.
Yes. And you're adjusting your physical presence. You're taking up more space. You're sending the right signals. And this can be done even if you're walking. I remember when we were in Las Vegas, you were morning coffee in the Orleans Hotel.
Oh, can I tell this story?
Yeah. The guy who came walking through.
Okay, I'll tell this. So Lisa and I were standing in line at the buffet. We were waiting for breakfast. We were supposed to be meeting you. We got there a few minutes earlier. You got there a little later. I was talking with her, and it's a long corridor.
It is.
And I don't think I had my LASIK at that time either. I'm not sure. Anyway, I could not recognize your face or anything like that. I couldn't even see what clothes you were wearing. But as soon as you turned around the corner in the distance, I saw this man walking.
Yes.
I'm trying to pretend I'm holding a coffee cup here, one of those fast food coffee cups. Irrelevant detail, but the bounding, just the movement, the speed.
Yeah, like a cat.
You were moving like
Jack the Mover.
Jack the Mover.
Yeah,
right.
Moving in the movery.
And and you had your elbows out a little bit. You were clearly taking up space so that you would send an unconscious cue for people to go around you.
Yeah.
And I looked at Lisa and I said, "That's Mike right there. He's coming right now." I could just tell it was you from the way you were walking.
Just radiating authority and power.
In Las Vegas, how does the typical 60, at the time, maybe say 65-year-old man walk around?
Well, they walk around in a freaking scooter, Chris.
Yeah, usually
in
electric,
a scooter.
Yeah, and we're not judging, but keep yourself strong, fit, and happy, and live an awesome life.
Don't go easily into that freaking night.
Mike, let's talk about a couple of body language things. And again, we'll describe these, but for the best experience, YouTube.
You must do them.
Or go to the show notes on our website where, of course, we will embed the video. So let's talk about steepling and blading the hand.
You want to be seen as knowledgeable and authoritative when someone's talking to you. Steeple. Put your fingertips together. It can be low down like this. It can be this way up, like Jimmy Page did it on Led Zeppelin album or something. But yeah, by doing this, you can even tap them together if you want. This sends a message of authority and knowledge.
What I'm talking about. Right.
If you look on Jeremy Brett playing Sherlock Holmes, whenever he's solving a case, he goes into steepling because it's sending that I have intellect, I'm smart, I'm on the ball, and I'm still looking at the freaking monitor. I just caught
you are.
To make sure I'm steepling in sight.
Let's show the difference between this hands together sort of.
That's the namaste.
That's almost like
namaste.
I'm
that's
a
different.
Peaceful person.
Yes, that's namaste, which is Hindi for I salute the light within you.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm just so freaking smart, I don't have to salute anybody.
Let's remember when audio listeners are listening, they don't know what this is, so let's be descriptive.
Oh, gosh.
The steepling, which you'll see, yes. So there we go. We've said enough on that.
Okay, thank you. Right. The next one is thumbs.
Let's talk about thumbs.
Joe Navarro, when I presented with him in Hollywood a number of years ago doing a keynote for Neil Strauss, training for him.
What is the thumb?
Joe Navarro, FBI, he said, keep your thumb out of your pocket. In other words, your hand can be in, but your thumb should be out.
So, thumbs out of pockets.
You want your thumb out of your pocket, and that's important. The thumb is a surrogate penis.
Which is so weird.
Which is true.
Can you say that on YouTube?
Grossly wrong size, of course. But the thumb should be kept, unlike the penis, should be exposed. If you put your thumb in your pocket and your hand's out, that's sending, I'm still looking at myself, that's sending a message of extreme weakness. Keep your thumb out of your pocket all the time.
That's actually really, really strong point. So that if you're
I want to do
the
it.
Microphone's in the way.
Yeah.
If your hands are in your pocket, it's like the opposite of taking up space, right?
Yeah. If you're in a bar,
there you go.
Against the bar with your thumbs. I've only got this tucked in because it's cold out to keep my back warm. I don't typically wear it all nerdy like this, just so you know.
All right.
I wouldn't want you to think it's a creeping age thing. Yeah. Buddy, we're out of time. We may save some for another one.
Let's do the last one is blading of the hands.
Oh, okay. You like that one so much. I'll let you do it.
I have named it blading the hands because this is something that I notice often when we're having coffee and chit-chatting before we would get to work in the kitchen. You would do this. You would tell a story, and right when you were getting to an important
you'd start drifting. Yeah.
Or if you were detecting that there was a need to recenter the attention.
Because you were drifting.
Right. Exactly. If there was a drifting happening.
Yeah.
Or if it was just something that was important in the story, you would be standing. I'm going to have to make this work on camera, obviously, but pretend we're further apart. Yeah. Okay. And you would just lean in and put your hand out like this. The hand for the camera. It was not like a point. This is considered rude. It's more like a chop. It's more like just a gesture with the hand. Not like I'm handing you something or expecting you to hand me money.
It's a blade. You're blading in the bladery as you're leaning in. Yeah.
So that's my original term. I just made that up.
Well, what's the usefulness of it?
It sends a signal that you're making an important point, and it recenters the attention onto the conversation. Okay. And you also would step in just subtly and lean in while you did it. But then you would immediately step back.
Yeah, that's right.
So you didn't get in there.
No, steady.
Yeah, there you go.
Right in my